I'm fine with losing games that we at least try to give effort. It's another when something controversial happens. All teams go through this. You know, we talked about Anaheim. We talked about this team last season with the playoffs. We talk about those things. There's no denying that the Panthers, late in the game, got royally screwed. We'll talk about that. So, it's Anthony Stolarz versus Joseph Woll. There was not a lot of scoring. There was not a lot of scoring in this. There was only like 2 goals. In the first period, there was a face-off win by Toronto. Austin Matthews, we know how good he is. We will eventually get a goal a little later on. So we start off with a few hits, and the first shot of the game goes to our Jarnkrok, which is a snapshot that will end up being saved by Stolarz. Max Domi, wrist shot saved by Stolarz. And Bertuzzi, we remember Bertuzzi from Boston. Remember him? Slap shot saved by Stolarz. Brandon Montour, wrist shot that ended up being saved by Joseph Woll. That's our first shot. So a lot of shots in are being saved. So then we're gonna skip ahead a little bit because I realize making these recasts, especially the Florida Panthers ones. I used to do it thoroughly, but now looking back, it just takes too long. So we're gonna jump right ahead. There would definitely be saves from Joseph Woll, definitely great saves by him. I'm not saying he didn't, but Stolarz had great saves as well. But we would get a goal in 15 minutes, 29 seconds in, not before Ekblad blocking Giordano. Gadrovic backhand that misses to the left. Dragovic snapshot that ended up being saved by Woll, but they would both. Gadrovic and Ekblad would get the assist, assisting Kevin Stenlund. That's his career high. 6th goal of the season for Kevin Stenlund. And then Florida goes up ahead by 1. It's definitely a second effort by Stenlund, and that puts ahead Florida Panthers by 1. Now, obviously, we try to add on to it with Ekman Larson tries to shoot one that ended up being saved by Joseph Woll. Then freaking Toronto tries to get something in, but they didn't do much. They ended up blocking their own teammates. Or no, actually, Florida did that. And then there was a penalty on Florida. I mean, that's just a silly call. That is a silly call. So basically what happened is too many men on ice called by Florida, even though the play was not actually happening. So penalty is served by Nick Cousins, and we start the second period with a Toronto power play, and that penalty would be nearly killed off until we get a fight. Penalty was killed off. Now that I think about it, penalty kills for Florida. They were very good tonight. They were actually very good. And then a fight broke loose. Max Domi, actually not this one. Max Domi. There was no fight here, but there was actually something, a double minor for Toronto. Max Domi would rough up Stan Bennett, and Max Domi would cross-check Matthew Tkachuk. So there was some pushing and shoving afterwards. It would be a double minor by Max Domi, and there would be a power play for Florida. And surprise, surprise, that there was no goal. There was almost a goal. Aaron Ekblad almost tries to get one that hit across it hit across above the crossbar. God, I'm tired. Above crossbar, almost went in, and then tries again a little bit after. That wouldn't be saved by Joseph Woll with the wrist shot. Then penalty was killed off. Surprise, surprise. Then Nylander tries to backhand, then ended up being saved by Stolarz. Lundell tries to snapshot, then ended up being saved by Joseph Woll. And it tipped in Austin Matthews twice in a row both times saved by stalwarts. So Toronto putting on the pressure for against Florida with Tavares hitting Montour. Bertuzzi tries to shoot one of the wrist shot that hit above the crossbar as well. So almost twice in a row, but they didn't get the goal at all. So Nylander tries a snapshot that hit the post once more. 2 times in a row it hit the post for Toronto. And then a freaking penalty on Aaron Ekblad would be an interference on him. The good news is the penalty kill is good. And what do you know? The penalty was killed off. And then there'll be another penalty. Now we had a big fight. Oh gosh. Literally taking off his helmet, Sam Bennett beating the crap out of Max Domi. Absolutely destroyed him. Bennett just flat out destroyed Domi. So they both went to the penalty box because they both were called by fighting. And I mean, wow, I never seen such beaten like this from Bennett to Domi. Jeez. Talk about a Calgary Flames dominance from both him and Tkachuk. But anyway, with all kidding aside, Lundell batted saved by Woll. Lundell tries again, but that being blocked by Morgan Riley. Aaron Ekblad wrist shot saved by Joseph Woll. And then for whatever reason, a turnover. Florida freaking turns the puck over. It's Noah Gregor just shooting it a wrist shot from the left. We have a tie game. Where did this kid come from? Where? It just cannot happen. And then Florida gets called for another penalty. Stanley gets called for a trip on Nylander. Another power play by Toronto. And Toronto came close. But the only shots by this power play by Toronto before the shorthanded shots by Lo Serenen and Mikola is Matthew Nice for trying to wrist shot it, but that was being saved by Stolarz. Penalty would be killed off there. And Mitch Marner tries a wrist shot that ended up being saved by Stolarz. Montour tries a wrist shot that's saved by Joseph Woll. And then a little bit towards after that, there were definitely some hits there and there. Lundell tries a wrist shot again, that ended up being saved by Joseph Woll. And a very late chance is slashed out by Bennett. And he's just going to shoot that one to Woll. And then we go to the third period. With third period, we don't see any goals. But not before some crazy stuff. Not as crazy as last night's with Ottawa. But Toronto putting in the pressure with Nicholas Robertson with the hit. Lomberg with the snapshot that's being saved by Woll. So there's a back and forth shooting between Montour, Lomberg, Tavares, McCabe, Bertuzzi, Kemp, and Matthews. So all those things were being saved by the goalkeeper. So that's definitely nice stuff to see, and I do apologize for that. Definitely cool to see by the goaltender, especially with Stolarz. A backup goalie for Bobrovsky, because Bobrovsky played last night. And definitely a nice idea to put him in for this game. And Stolarz played great. He played absolutely great. It's just a shame what happened at the end. Barkov then gets called for a trip, even though we're trying to go after the puck. Still a BS call. But the penalty was killed off. Not before Austin Matthews tries a wrist shot that ended up being missing to the right. Morgan Riley snapshot that hit the left post. Austin Matthews was blocked by Reinhardt. McCabe was missing to the left. Penalty killed off. So another penalty killed by Florida. Absolutely great stuff there. Then a little bit after that, Gadjovich was called for a high stick. And Gadjovich, he didn't mean to do that. He really didn't mean to do that. And he gets called for a double minor on high sticking against Noah Gregor, the guy who scored earlier. And he gets called for a double minor. But not before. It would not be a double minor no longer because too many men on ice is Toronto. it would be served by Nicholas Robertson. So it would be a 4-on-4, or in this case, 3-on-3 when we go to this. Overtime. We go to overtime for Florida. It'll be a 3-on-3, and then there'll be a power play Florida. No goal there. Now we finally get to the not power play. Overtime Florida. The first shot was by Morgan Riley. It was blocked by Ekblad. Then Reinhardt was blocked by McGay. Barkov then tries to snatch on it. That is being saved by Joseph Wall. Barkov shot blocked by Benoit. Barkov then hits Benoit after that. So he's like, screw you. Ekman Larson was blocked by Benoit as well. So Benoit with the defensive stops. Then Rodriguez tries to snatch up, but that's saved by Joseph Wall. Sam Bennett, before that shot, Gustav Forsling tries to get one, but that was blocked by Benoit. And then Sam Bennett, wrist shot saved by Joseph Wall. Then William Nylander tries a wrist shot that's saved by Stolarz. And it's just those nice saves by Stolarz all game long. Matthew Tkachuk was blocked by Tavares. Reinhardt tries to finish this game off. And I don't know how in the world that puck did not go in. But that being saved by Joseph Wall. And then for the first time this season, we go to the shootout. Oh, I don't want to talk about this. I really don't. So, William Nylander starts off with a backhand, that being saved by Stolarz. Lundell starts off for Florida. He tries to backhand it, but that was saved by Stolarz. Then Austin Matthews, of course, backhands between the legs of Stolarz. And then that would be a goal for Florida. Barkov then tries a backhand, and that was saved by frickin' Wall. So Mitch Marner, if he makes this one, Toronto wins. Mitch Marner failed shot attempt, so he freaking flat out missed the shot. And we have another life. Reinhardt with the wrist shot, and he banks it in. Shootout is tied 1-1. Max Domi then tries to get something in, but that hit the post. That would hit the post. So then we have a shot to win this one. Matthew Tkachuk tries to wrist shot it, but he just flat out misses to the left. This is a bad shot. Nicholas Robertson then tries to snatch on it, but that was saved by Stolarz. He freaking falls on the ice to try to get that one in. And then this is where the controversy happens. Evan Rodriguez tries a wrist shot in. That was saved by Joseph Wall. No, it wasn't. It was not saved at all by Joseph Wall. Here's what really happened. Rodriguez wrist shot. The puck slid underneath Joseph Wall. Goes to the back of the net. And that's a ball game. That is the hockey game. But the referees took a look at it to make sure that it's clean. And they said it wasn't clean. They said it was double tapped by Rodriguez. And I looked at this clip so many times. I did not see a second tap. Where's the second tap? Are you flat out making up these rules to benefit the other teams? And what's worse, it came back and haunted us. Now, referees are saying, upon review, Rodriguez double tapped, calling back the players. They were calling back the players because a lot of players, and including myself, I thought the game was over. So I turned off the game. And then it said 2-1 Maple Leafs. What? I came back and I went back to the Rodriguez thing, and then I saw the bullshit. And the players left the freaking tunnel. They left. They said they're calling back the players to come back on the sideline. But they didn't even come back in time anyway. And you know what's worse? Gregor actually did the play. And then he buries it. Noah Gregor of all players. Wrist shots it in. After the double tap. What the fuck? Seriously, what the actual fuck? He did. First off, there was no double tap. Second, why didn't you allow the players to come back from the locker room to get back to the bench? You did not give him an opportunity. And Nick Cousins, getting back to the ice barely, then tries to tie this thing up again, and he hits the left post, and Toronto wins it. Toronto wins this one. I mean, I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how the officiating is just, it's every league there's always gotta be some bullshit. Whether it's disallowing goals just like this, disallowing goals even though the puck definitely went to the back, went across the line, the blue line to the back of the net. And then you have something like this. Unbelievable. It's just flat out unbelievable. We got robbed. Stolarz should have won this game. But instead you gave it to Joseph Woll. When you know clearly he got beat. And you gave him a second chance just because. Now, I guarantee you, if Boston, if Tampa Bay, if New Jersey, and I'm not calling them out, I'm just saying, if the same thing that Rodriguez did happen in their case, let's say if Bergeron did the same thing, right? Or better yet, let's say if McAvoy did the same thing, the double tap, or claiming double tap, they would have given him the good goal. Let's say if they give the puck to, what's a good example here? What's a good example for Tampa Bay? I want to say, let's say Kucherov, right? Kucherov. Let's say he does it. He's their best player. Let's say he did the same thing Rodriguez did. You know what they would have done? They would have given him a good goal. And then let's say New Jersey. What's a good example here? Like Jack Hughes or Luke Hughes? Let's say Luke Hughes did the same thing that Rodriguez did, right? They would have given him a goal anyway. I'm just saying. If the same thing happened with them, they would have given him a good goal. And I'm pretty sure it would have done the same thing for Toronto as well. I bet you $1 million it would have been the same thing. Are the Panthers just that unlucky? Are Miami Sports really that gullible to those calls? I don't know. It's pathetic. Now, it was a tense battle. It was a tense game. It just sucks that it had to end in controversy. Anyway, stars of the game. Joseph Woll, 1 star. No. Noah Gregor. Okay, Noah Gregor, you definitely give a case for Noah Gregor. He definitely played great. But 3 stars goes to Anthony Stolarz. I mean, he deserved it. He deserves the 3 stars as well. But for team stats, 39 shots for Florida compared to 32 that Toronto has, 41 hits compared to 40 hits that Toronto has, and 17 penalty minutes because of that double minor that made it a little bit higher compared to 11 minutes that freaking Toronto has. And for the rest of the team stats, no power play goals. Block shots, 25 block shots for Maple Leafs compared to 13 that Florida has. So anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this recap. We got a game on Thursday between the Florida Panthers and what they call it, the Habs, Montreal Canadiens, in Montreal, Canada. So it's gonna be an interesting game to watch. That's going to happen in Montreal, Canada. And we'll see what happens there. So, Yeah. So, I'm going to do a recap. I'm going to do a Heat recap tomorrow because I just don't want to be more frustrated than I am right now because of what happened. It's 11:40 at night. I'm tired. And I don't think it's worth it to use up more energy on frustrations than this right now. So I'm definitely going to do a recap, the Heat recap tomorrow morning. So, yeah, folks, there you go. That's going to do it for this video, folks. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe our content, because Miami TVG guys are back. And when he does, he'll be right there with you for your entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG signing out, folks. Good night, everybody.